Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Drew with American Made, and this video is going to be a Martinez M1 unboxing. I've wanted to buy one of these hammers for years, and finally, for a birthday gift, I pulled the trigger, or should I say my wife pulled the trigger. So thank you, wife. Comes with a sweet sticker, instructions, and I chose to assemble it myself. Those are pretty cool stickers. Please don't ask to borrow my tools. And if you don't know, Martinez is American made. Mark Martinez, he's actually got a pretty cool story. He was a California framer. Had a ram set explode and took his eye. And so he started creating hammers. He's actually the mastermind behind Stiletto, which this is the hammer I've had, original handle. I've ran this Stiletto 14 for quite a few years. This is a good like finishing hammer, but not a framing hammer. In my opinion, it's too light, but I do like the wood handle. You know, for finishing, trim carpentry, it's a smooth face. So this is basically going to be my framing setup. The only concern with the Diamondback that I'm concerned to see is how this M1 goes in and out of my hammer sleeve, which I have not seen any videos, so that's going to be kind of the main difference. The video I'm filming is, we'll get to that. I opted for the titanium bolt, and I went all murdered out. It does come with instructions. Very nice finish, kind of like a black anodized. So the socket you need is a 12.38, and I don't have any 12 points. So my father-in-law just passed away, and I got some of his tools. And so right now I just bought a socket rack for all the really nice sockets, ratchets, to organize them so they're still just in a bucket. And literally digging down through a bucket of, you know, 50 or 60 tools, sockets, the first one I picked is 3/8, so the exact one I need. So if that's not a God thing, I don't know what is. So thanks, Todd. That's just crazy. So you will need a 3/8 12-point socket. Off the bat is a slight angle to the head. I think they call it a 5-degree bevel. Is pretty apparent. I need an extension. Supposed to torque it to 35 to 45 pounds. So I'm going to go get a torque wrench, torque it to 35 to 45 foot-pounds. I have a little 3/8 drive, so I have to convert that to inch pounds, and you basically take foot-pounds times 12 to get to inch pounds, and I'm at 540. It says to drive the grip on, basically with the rubber mallet as well. The combination, the hammer handle kind of has a slight raised edge and then down to the fawn's foot, but that sits in the hammer, or sits in your hand very nice. So once you get the grip on, the last thing is the set screw. And really that is the big draw of Martinez. If your handle grip wears out or the head, you can replace it. In the T-bone, if you damage your head or even the grip, you still got to send it off. You can see how simple it was to change out the grip. And if you ever need to get it off, I know you just cut it off. Here's a comparison. Man, that is sweet. The weight, I was worried it'd be too heavy, but really the weight isn't bad at all. I was worried it was going to be too heavy, but for a framing hammer or kind of a remodel scenario, I build a lot of decks. I feel like this is the perfect weight where you can still drive, drive nails no problem, but it's not like a huge, 2-pound sledge on your hip. So now the real test is how it goes in the hammer sleeve. Might have to do some adjusting. That might just be because it's loose, but this was my main concern. That wood handle, goes in very nice, which the Martinez doesn't go in bad, but that fawn's foot kind of catches up on the coming out. You flip it upside down, it comes out a lot easier, or you can kind of push up on the head. To me, that's not a deal breaker though. It's not nearly as nice as a wood handle, because that was my other top contender, was a Douglas, but I had seen a lot of people do those really kind of short stubby claws, and for a framing hammer I don't think that's ideal. Now we better drive some nails. So slightly shorter. The balance to me is good. It's just heavy on the head, which is what I think you want. But as far as, working above your head, it's not enough weight. To me it's not too heavy where I'd want an M4. And obviously everybody knows these stilettos are super light, so they're great for trim. So I'm going to do some 16 penny commons. First, the stiletto. That's a big improvement. And I'm more accurate with that bevel, I think. This stump is cut at an angle too, so it's kind of a little awkward. Now I want to try the side nail puller, and you can see I have a stiletto cat's paw that's really stayed in good shape so far. The teeth are still pretty good. Oh, that's nice. Wow. The side nail puller is a game changer. I'm finishing a basement, so I'm going to go put it through its paces this next few weeks, and I'll be sure to do an update. So I'm finishing a basement right now, and I've been putting the Martinez through its paces this week, and I really got to say I'm very impressed. One thing I didn't appreciate at first was the nail puller. You can see right here, I got to pull all these old drywall nails, and I thought, due to the weight, I might be worried about working overhead, but if for like pulling nails, you know, you can keep your hammer level. It's really intuitive. Not only does it, you know, pull, you know, nails, you know, small nails, but it pulls very large fasteners. You know, like a framing nail, you can pull very easily. Another thing is the fact that if you're driving your cat's paw and need to pry, how you can use it for leverage. That's a really nice feature. I've used that a few times. But yeah, so overall I'm very, very happy with the hammer. The only thing, it's like the only downfall I would say, is the fact if you run a hammer holster, it has a tendency to get caught up a little bit. That was kind of a given when I bought it, but that was the only reason I was leaning towards buying a Douglas or a Vaughn or Deluge. But those wood-handled, sort of the Douglas style, I don't even know what they call it, a V head. But that also has a side nail puller. Different companies make titanium. It's a very attractive hammer. So down the road, I might purchase one of those just because I'm a toolaholic. But this Martinez, it hits like a beast for driving nails. It's a waffle head. I've never had a waffle head, and I really like it for framing just because sometimes with a smooth face, if you have an odd angle or kind of a glancing blow, the waffle face obviously really grips and just does such a better job at driving nails. And the weight is not really that noticeable to me. It just feels like a good in-between of something heavy enough I could use it all the time. Something light enough I don't mind using it at all. Overhead, you know, tapping things, it's not awkward. It's got a really heavy head, but it's still balanced well. I do like the 5-degree bevel. I ran a box of those 16 penny commons into a really hard stump, and by the end of the box I could get it in the one hit, which I've never been able to do before. I did get my thumb, which with that waffle face was very, very painful. And I will say, after driving a whole box of nails, you know, my elbow felt pretty good. If you've got tendonitis, this might save you a little bit, but you should look into BPC 157. That's a peptide that will heal tendonitis in a matter of weeks. I used to have a really bad case in this elbow. You know, it would radiate. My grip strength was non-existent. That's been cured now for about 3 years. That's why I originally got into a titanium hammer. I was having really bad tendonitis. But yeah, so all in all, extremely happy. Yeah, and I will show you. So I've seen some people talk about this where they run it in backwards in their hammer holster. And you can see it comes out pretty decent, but I'm just used to a wood handle where that was so fast, and you can see it kind of gets caught up a little bit. But if you grab, you know, if I grab kind of the claw and just flip it up, it's not so bad. I've seen Dr. Dex talking about how he runs it in like this. But yeah, all in all, very happy with this hammer. I love it. I wish I would have bought one sooner. It's a real joy to use. I find myself choking up on it when I'm working overhead. But it's really just very well balanced, very well designed. The grip's awesome. Side nail puller, the cutouts to use for leverage, kind of like you do with wrenches. But yeah, I didn't think I would appreciate the side nail puller as much as I do, just because, you know, a situation like this, I do a lot of remodels where, you know, you will have to pull drywall nails, your drywall screws, and when you're working like this, that leverage just isn't the greatest. And with the ability to turn almost, you know, 180 degrees by wrapping it all the way around, it just really pulls nails well. And I feel like it doesn't damage your material. The big difference too is like from running a stiletto for so many years, I was always very cautious pulling nails, because even though it's a hickory handle, I was always worried about breaking it. So yeah, like I said, I was always worried about pulling nails with the stiletto, worried about breaking it. And this hammer just really feels indestructible. I also love the fact that once this head gets wore out, you break a claw, you can just buy a new head. I will say getting the head on was sort of a challenge, and getting this torqued to 35 to 45 foot-pounds was kind of a challenge. Also, you're going to need a 12.38 socket. I did have one, but wouldn't have without getting those tools from my father-in-law. But yeah, other than that, just a sweet, sweet handle. Really a joy to use, a joy to work with. And I will do updates. If I break anything, something changes, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. But I got to get back to work. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody. The fact that if you have a hammer holster, it is going to slow you down a little bit from a wood handle. But to me, the benefits outweigh that one negative. So thanks for watching, and as always, keep hammering. So I hope this video covered something for you. I hope this helped. I'm very impressed with the Martinez, very happy with the purchase, and I look forward to using it probably for the rest of my career. So anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, keep hammering.